This is the Executive Chair now. I'm very delighted to welcome Damien Quinn. He's the Managing Director of Powerscreen Ireland to the programme. Damien, you're very welcome to the programme.
Thanks very much, Bobby.
Now,
welcome to Tullamore.
Opening your doors in 1997, Powerscreen is it's dedicated full-time to the needs of the crushing and screening industry, as we know the terminology now from our previous guests, what crushing and screening actually is. And you're based here in Laois, and you basically are an international company employing 1,500 people.
That's it, Bobby.
Fantastic story.
Yeah. Even my story, which is part of it, I finished college as an engineer and started work the next Monday in Powerscreen. And the minute they seen I got up in my mouth, I was sent to America. And did you work in Asia, did you, as well? I worked in America for 2 years, and then they come over and they told me they needed somewhere for Asia, so I told them I hadn't mastered English yet, never mind Japanese, but away I went for 2.5 years. I was only a young fella.
And you know, often that's the way, isn't it, Damien? If you get lucky as a young fella, you know, with an engineer with a qualification, and you don't really have ties, you can be the sort of fix-it guy that is flexible enough to go here or there.
Exactly.
And you were bright enough to take those opportunities.
I'm not a born salesman, but I understand engineering, I understand machinery. Like to make it basic, we take big stuff and make it small. That's it. There's nothing more.
Right.
It's like yourself when you're filtering coffee. If you're baking a cake, you sieve flour. That's what we do. We make mechanical sieves and apply them to different applications all over the world.
Why is it, Damien, that nobody really seems to know that 65 to 70% of the world's sieving and crushing equipment comes from Ireland? Why is it such a down low
I don't know if I agree with that, because if you go to Georgia in the middle of the savannah, I remember being there one time and I said, my name is Damien, I'm from Powerscreen. There's probably 20 different salesmen selling screen equipment, and they're probably all from Ireland. You know?
Right.
And it's the same everywhere. It's an Irish industry, so the customers probably know that. People might know that aren't in the industry, but in Dungannon, I think we were born with a welder.
Tell me about the mining industry per se. So I suppose we're looking at your customers outside of Ireland. Does that ebb and flow like many industries?
Well, say in 08, I'm here 20 years celebrating this year for Powerscreen Ireland as an I was crippled in 08 because it was just Ireland, whereas the factory, thankfully, south of the equator, South America, Australia was still busy with mining, making the iron ore, heading for India, heading for China, so that kept them going to probably 13, 14.
Right.
And then UK come out of the recession, America, Europe, and then that leveled it out again,
And would Powerscreen be, I suppose, flexible enough as a business that you can actually focus on these markets? In other words, that you don't have any great, clearly if you were dependent on the domestic market, you wouldn't be in business.
But Powerscreen themselves, they're a massive company with 120 dealers worldwide, and Must-Do's a great master, Bobby. They change things and move it and change production schedules and the types of machines. They're pretty standard, We're standardised equipment that's sold in Australia or Europe. The engines might be different, but they can change that within months,
Right.
The production schedules change.
And what sort of research and development would you be doing? Like what's happening in the industry in terms of the influence of computers, of technology?
Well, like Powerscreen, probably they're number one in the world because they put so much effort to put their money back into R&D.
Right.
So they keep going. The big thing at the minute, we sell 1,000.
Yeah.
So that's helping us now, go in and try and say, here guys, I know you don't need to change, but maybe you should consider changing because here's what's new out here. And they're constantly moving. If you don't move, you don't keep changing, you get left behind.
And would the mining sector generally be of the type that says we're going to buy this machine now and we're going to drive it to death and we're going to knock as many years as we can out of it, or are they actually progressive in terms of reinvesting and saying we better modernise here?
Well, if you go back 50 years, Powerscreen designed a 4-variant screen box, which was revolutionary. They patented it, and that's what kept them going. So they went into, if you look behind you, this is a static stationary. So when you buy it, you nearly live with it, because a lot of your money is in the foundations, is in the electrical work, whereas ours is mobile. Equipment is what we do best.
Tell me about recycling and the impact that's had on the business, or is
when things like the construction industry gets quiet, it forces us into doing something. Like we manufacture small Powerscreen had a place in Kilbeggan here, where they employed 300 people up until there, and they made a trommel screen which is purely recycling, and that's where they focused. So it means that when one industry slows down a little, then you have that recycling industry. So now
it's another sales channel.
Especially in the UK, they're very, the bigger cities haven't as many quarries as we would have. Say Dublin has 3 big quarries, whereas Manchester wouldn't, or London hasn't, so they're forced to recycle.
Okay.
Like when I look at a pile of demolition, you go, oh, that's an eyesore.
The importance, Damien, and my guest is Damien Quinn, the Managing Director of Powerscreen Ireland, but the importance of businesses like yourselves to regions such as, Offaly, you mentioned Kilbeggan there, like, employing that many people in an area that really, really needs jobs, that's quite a responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah. But come here, one of the things you think about, what motivates you, what keeps you going, there's people to be paid every week. You have to try and find new ways of helping your customers. It's not just order taking. We have to try and create sales and make sales and that. Like, but things got very slow for us here. Powerscreen used to manufacture a small compact trommel, but there wasn't a big market for it, so they didn't. So I asked them, and then we started manufacturing it. So we're starting now, and thankfully we're creating a few more jobs, and we're exporting it all. It's a trommel machine to dig in. So.
But isn't it true, Damien, that we really need to keep making things? We need to, we found out the hard way that building houses and selling them to one another doesn't work. Actually, but making hardcore products, actually manufacturing, building something and selling it to export markets is really.
If you look at Ireland, like Powerscreen themselves, there's lots of other industries, they're all manufacturing, employing people. Here we have McHale machinery in the farm. Everywhere you go in the world, it's true. That's real jobs and real money and real people getting fed. And
absolutely, and
the impact it has. They can have a pint, they can go and buy, and that's what happens.
Speaking of pints, and we do like to find out a little bit about our guests in the executive chair. You worked in a Guinness bottling factory at one stage. Tell me about that experience. Was it bottle one, drink one, or how did it work?
I was privileged all my life. My parents brought me up, and my father ran a company called Quinn's of Cookstown. They were an independent bottler of Guinness, so they got tankers up and they used to bottle Guinness, but every so often they'd get a bad batch of Guinness and they'd have to pour it all out again. So 10 years of age, child labour, I was taking the tin tops off thing and pouring them back, so that was my first job.
And also, when you mentioned briefly there when you were in the States, what you didn't tell us that in the States, in the 2 years you were there, you worked in 30.
A good lad, good marketing people, I've been lucky. When I was 24, I was 3 months in America. They've sent me to Louisville. I was president of Powerscreen America. I had a business card. And while I was there, I was visiting the States on the East Coast. Then I went to Denver, visited all the States in the West. We were dealer managers, so it's privileged. I had a great life. And through Asia, it was the same, visiting people, making friends. I can make phone calls anywhere in the world, and there's old acquaintances that you meet through business.
Right.
So the Powerscreen network is a great network. We're all established businesses. We're not boot of the car salesmen. We've made a commitment. We're here, and most are long-established dealers.
It's a fascinating business, and I have to say it really opened my eyes here with the whole sector around screening and crushing.
From here, we're constantly moving. We're constantly being kept moving. We have to find new ideas and new ways of.
Executive Chair. Thanks to SunGuard Availability Services. IT for business that never stops.
Okay, that's all we got time for today, folks. Big thanks to everybody down here in Tullamore at the Construction, Quarrying and Machinery Show. Really had a wonderful time. Thanks for allowing me relive my childhood with all these toys for big boys stuff. Big thanks to producer as always, John Fardy. He's here there looking very miserable, but he loves Offaly and he loves when I bring him out, force him to go and do these OBs down the country. Also thanks to John O'Donovan and Aidan McKelvey back at base. Paul Buckland here on sound. Just to let you know that I'll be live with you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for, yes, Bobby's so some Druid cooking with Rory Murnahan. So lots of fun tomorrow morning. Do join us. Stay tuned for Future Proof with Jonathan McRae. And it's a goodbye from me from Tullamore, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Right.
Thank you. It's good crack.
Thank you.
Well done, David.
Was that alright?
No, it's great. Good man. I knew you'd be good.
I never got showed you my bags of stones.
Show me your stones.
Thanks a minute.
It's fair.
No, really, lovely to talk to you. Yeah, no.
Thanks very much.
How about that?
Sorry.
a million.
Thanks.
Great to see you.
Back again.
I will, of course.
The
Yeah.
Midlands, well.
Thanks a million.